question, actually, and this is something that was brought up. I know Andrew, you've been talking about this for a while. The earthquake probability in California, what's the situation with that? Have you heard anything new?
That's a great question. Actually, I wanted to ask that question myself, but Griff, I think we could direct that question your way.
I am of the impression that the probability of a major earthquake in California in the next 30, 40 days is great, whether it's a natural occurring earthquake or a scalar event. That would certainly be a military thing to do in light of the tragedy, disaster that's occurring in the Gulf.
It'll be a nightmare, Griff. I was just looking over some of the solar data. The sun just fired off a C3 class coronal mass ejection straight at us, and those things do tend to interact with the plates of the Earth. It's something I've learned in my waking up, but it's not an M class, it's not an X class flare. It's not going to black the whole world out, but it may very well cause some shaking, and it will impact the Earth in 2 days, as a matter of fact.
If you have military scalar going on in East Tennessee and Oklahoma, then it's an easy thing to cause another event in California.
Yeah,
coupled with all of the other disaster that's being created.
Yep, one of the members of the chat room lives in Oregon and was asking where are you finding this stuff out?
Well, let me see. I'll give the this is stuff. There's a guy on YouTube that calls himself Astrotometry. And he's been real good. He's using basically hypertime theoretical equation based on quantum theory to come up with this data. But some of what I've looked at, it comes from Soho, www.nascom.nasa.gov, and you can actually see this stuff working. You can just kind of see the workings of the sun. So it's been interesting to kind of watch that unveil, but I believe it was Dr. Brooks Agnew is where I actually started to learn about the plasma of the sun interacting with the planet.
Yeah, we'll have to have him back on because that was a heavy interview, man. He's a good resource of information when it comes to that. We've got time for one more caller, so I'm going to take the last caller here. Area code 502, you're live. Go ahead.
Okay, hey, I was actually wondering, do you think, I was talking to your guest, do you think that there's a possibility that the subterranean fresh water, or with our fresh water supply, could be affected by the Gulf spill?
Yes.
Yeah, take that one, Griff. I know you're hot and heavy on that one.
Yes, I think so. I think it'll happen in various places. All wells are different. All water is different, but I think it could.
Okay. Do you think it'll be caused by precipitation leaking into the groundwater, or by some other means?
It would take some time to answer that adequately. The water in New Orleans is coming out of the Mississippi River 18 miles upstream, so that's relatively safe. There are wells along the coastline that are being affected right now with methane coming out of the taps. We know that. It's getting into the aquifers, although water people will say, well, that can never happen. Well, it is happening. The experts have caused the problem down there. Don't believe the experts.
Right.
People have asked, and in fact the last caller asked, how do you know this? Well, you just know it. My father could go to the grocery store many years ago, and I watched him add up figures in his head of the merchandise coming across the counter, and he would come up with the total before the cash register did. And they said, well, how do you do that? Well, I just do it, just do it.
Right. Okay.
And,
I actually had another question, if that was okay.
Go ahead. We got about one more minute.
Okay. What if any politician that you know of now, is there anybody that we can get behind as people and vote for that can actually maybe have something on the table?
No, they're all afraid.
Not even to Rand Paul from Kentucky?
No, they're all afraid. They'll be taken out if they do. They're afraid.
Right.
Okay.
That's
okay.
Right.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I appreciate the call. And, folks, if you guys want to have a little – there is historical precedent of stuff like this going down. If this is a natural event, which I doubt it is, or if they tapped into a volcano, which is more likely this scenario, you can actually go and take a look at the Indonesia mud volcano. Just Google or YouTube search Indonesia mud volcano, and what it is it's a result of drilling, and now this mud volcano is spewing 100,000 tons of mud and methane gas, and it's been doing so for 6 years, and they can't stop it, and it's burying a city. So it's bad because this methane gas is actually coming out of their tubs, it's coming out of their toilet bowls, it's coming out of the tap water. They can't use it, and it's a real problem. So yes, it can most certainly penetrate the groundwater. And that's just the methane gas, let alone all this chemical stuff that they're putting in the water. Griff, it was great to have you on again. As always, it's a pleasure. Henning, thank you so much for coming out again tonight. Sorry we couldn't get more out of you because of the connections. Gosh, we've had some awful problems. And Andrew, it was wonderful to have you on. We're running out of time here. So, folks, if you want to catch an archive of this show, you can on our Blog Talk Radio channel. I'll also have the show mirrored on YouTube. My channel is Admiral Conservative, and you can catch the show there, too, if you haven't seen it. Our website, www.freedomlink.yolasite.com, or if you guys have any input, please email us directly at thefreedomlink@centurylink.net. Again, thank you for listening to Freedom Link. Guys, do your homework. Get this information out. If you make a video, do a YouTube video. Do whatever you have to do. But the biggest thing is ask questions and hold these people accountable. You guys can do it. I know you can do it. John, it's all you, man. Go to the outro.
I noticed something was wrong. It wasn't being reported in the mainstream media. I began a search for answers. That's when I found Freedom Link. Freedom Link Radio reports on the real issues of the day, not the fluff from mainstream media. They don't report on the fads and trends, just the facts about the stories I want to know. If knowledge is power, then Freedom Link me. I am a busy person. When I want answers to world events, I turn to Freedom Link Radio. I get a fresh perspective on the day's events from their radio personalities that I can trust. Not that misleading double talk you get from corporate-owned mainstream media. Freedom Link Radio connected me to what's really important.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't take notes, you'll have the opportunity to take notes in the archive. We hope that you will go back through and re-listen to the program. If you like tonight's program, click on the link, save it to your favorites, and email the link and the radio and this station to everyone in your contact list and let them know that we are broadcasting the truth.